Hello everyone, welcome to the Bitcoin video. Today it is April 28th, 2020. We're looking at about 12:30 in the afternoon. It has been a while since I did a video update. I had some computer mishaps and we got them all taken care of, and now I'm back. I'm back to do an update, but before I get into this, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trade, managing your own risk, doing your own research. I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. And as we get into this, just some reminder. Typically, I do not prepare all of this ahead of time. I'm going to be making some pretty drastic changes to this chart. So I think that talking through this is going to be very helpful for all of you that are tuning in. If you've been following for a while, you guys know kind of how I trade, how I work the market. So I'm going to be making some big changes to this chart just based on the price action that we have seen here. Hopefully everything is going okay. So far so good. It looks like we've got a good stream. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to take I'm going to take a view back. I guess before we get too far into the history, I want to take a look at right where we are right now. A couple things very obvious that we're seeing up here. First, we're seeing here our green moving average here. This is our 55 exponential moving average. I'm on an hourly chart. So the 55 exponential has been support, right? It was support back here where we finally broke through and broke above. Okay, so we had some resistance to the 55 exponential on the hourly, and right here we pushed through. We consolidated between the 55 and the 100. We pushed above both. The 55 was support. We had a nice massive move to the upside. We came back, we were having some front runs of the 55. More than likely, this is probably the 50 moving average. I bet if I moved this and made a change this, so this was the 50 instead of the 55, I bet we'd probably see a little more confluence with this. It's a little better, but still, I prefer to take a look at the 55 exponential. So let's just go ahead and put that back. Changing that back to the 55. All right. And we've seen support. So support here, we had a front run of the 100. We saw support here. Okay, so we're seeing attempts to push under the 55 exponential. It hasn't happened yet. Okay, hasn't happened yet. Do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, I think it will. I mean, obviously it will at some point, right? But I do think we're getting close. Okay, so just knowing this, also knowing that the 12-hour is very, very much overbought. So this is more than likely going to cross here at any time now, right? So I would expect that we're going to start seeing some weakness and some more bearish push down here in the near future. 3 hour has crossed. 3 hour is currently a sell. Okay, and if I turn on the algo, let's just turn this on for a moment. The 3 hour became a sell just a couple hours ago. Okay, so we can see the 3 hour is currently a sell. That doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way, but the probability is right now in the favor of bears. We're approaching the 618 time extension. If I go back here, taking a look at this top, measuring the length of the A, going up to the length of this B. So we're approaching 61.8% the length of this A move. I'm not so sure that I'm ready to say that this is complete and we're going to start moving down, but it looks like that. It looks like we are getting ready for a move to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to remove this fib time extension here. Yeah, I hate to do it, but I really want to just blow away a lot of the chart here, because I think that now that we've had some time to see this, I'm just going to remove some of the subdivision that I've got here, because I am interested in making some significant changes to this. Okay, I am interested in making some big changes on our count. Okay, now that we have seen things happen, a lot of this is looking okay. It's looking okay, but I want to go back to let me go ahead and remove this guy here and this one right here as well. Okay, so what I think I'm seeing here, okay, I think we have an extended one wave. Okay, so we've been kind of ignoring this, looking at this as an A, B, C, and expanded flat, which I think is probably valid. I'm going to move back to that being the case here. So I'm going to remove my moving averages just for clarity, just to clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to move this back here. This, I believe, is our one wave. We have an ABC into our 2. So I think that the 2 is right here. I think this is a perfect example of an expanded flat, an ABC down here into the 2. Now, this is where things get tricky. Okay, what do we have here? We have an easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put this in here. All right, so another expanded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a diagonal into the 1, A, B, C into the 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, and expanded flat into a 4, and then we complete the 5, which that would complete the 3 right there. Okay, then what do we have? I'm going to move this. We have an A, we have a B right here, A, B, C into the B. Then we come down here for the C. Okay, so the question right here, A, B, C, and then we've got to move up. And sorry, I'm just looking at this, making sure that this is how I would like for it to be. I'm thinking more along the lines of it looking like this instead, where we have an A, B, C into the A, B, C into the B, and then an A, B, C, or this could be counted as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where this could have been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the A. So a 5, 3, 5, this would be valid. Then, let me just pull this back here. We easily have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this. So if this is an ABC, here's our 4, and then we have a 5-wave impulse up into the 5 right there, okay, which would complete our first wave. Now, we have been counting this all along, right? So I haven't changed this part for the most part. ABC into the A, ABC into the B. We have our subdivision in here as well. I'm going to remove the subdivision just for clarity. I want to keep this chart as clean as possible at this point. And then I think we need to complete 3 waves down. We need to complete 3 waves down. And where are we going to go? That's the question. I actually think we're going to go lower. I don't think we're going to stop at 6,600 anymore. I actually think we're going to end up going lower. I'm going to pull this out here. I think this is going to take a little time. We're probably going to get a dump before Bitcoin does its halving, okay? That's kind of what I think is going to happen here. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then so potentially we still have a little bit higher. We could be going here. Now let's talk about how we get there. Let's talk about how we get there really quick. All right, so if we're going to have an expanded flat, we have our first wave down, and I'm just going to measure this wave right here from the top to the bottom right here. Okay, and we're going to have an expanded flat. I don't know if I've got a template set up here for an expanded flat, so I'm just going to throw in a couple pieces here. We know that our high was right here at about 74, 77. We'll call it 74, 75. We have done our first corrective wave down. We have another corrective wave up, which I think we're still potentially in the middle of, right? I'm not discounting the fact that we can push up to 8,000, but I think we're in an expanded flat. And if that is the case, probably we're going to expand to the 123.6 or the 138.2. Let's move ourselves and take a look at the 1.382. There's the 1.382 at 7,900 right there. If I put the 123.6 on here, I think we've already expanded above that, and we have. So we're currently finding resistance here at the 123.6, which is 77.39. Coincidentally, we're at 77.31 right now. But for us to push up here to the 1.382 would satisfy the rules for an expanded flat to the upside. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the A, 1, 2, 3 into the B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the C. This follows the rules how we would expect them to be followed. Our downside target, potentially the negative 236, which is going to be at 62.50. So right now I'm going to say we're going to be going down to 62.50. That's going to be my main area for layering my buys right now, okay? Because as you all know, if you've been on our server for any amount of time, you know that I started taking profit at about 7,000. I got out of my alts up here at about 7,600. All right, we're at 77.31. Do I still have some alts? Yeah, I do. I still have Ripple. I still have Holochain. And of course, I still have Bitcoin. I do have a hedged short position on Bitcoin still. I am not adding to that position. I'm going to wait for us to get a rejection at 7,900, assuming we do. I do believe, though, this is prime candidate again for an expanded flat, which means on an expanded flat, we have our three waves down into the big A, our three waves up into the big B, and then we go down for the big C, okay? And more than likely, if we're going to keep any kind of geometry, this is going to go out to about May 12th, okay? May 12th. I'll have to check and see how this correlates with the timing of Bitcoin's halving, but it is very possible that this happens very fast, and it's not going to be a slow drawdown. Very possible this happens very fast. I think we could potentially have a large sell-off, a large and quick sell-off, a slow and steady rise, and then another large and quick fall again. Okay, this is what I expect to happen. I still think it is possible for us to push up to 7,900, maybe up to 8,000, but the 1382, that's where you're going to be looking for a move to the upside here. If that happens, let's take a look at this. A trend-based fib extension. We start here at the top. Okay, try and get that as perfect as we can. Pull down here to the bottom. I'm going to try and tag that down here. Try and get that perfect. And then let's pull up here. Now, if we come up to 7,900. Okay, very easy for us to say that we're going to get a bounce here 68.50. So that this bounce zone right here, which would be 100% the length of the A, makes sense. Okay, come up here to the B at the 618, which is going to be a 72. That makes a lot of sense. And then for us to finally come down to the 1618 extension. Now again, we're measuring just the length of this A wave and pulling it back to where the B wave would or could potentially end, right? So we're just projecting right now, okay? If it stops up here, then we're taking a look at lower prices. But if it does in fact go up to 7,900, we're going to look for a bounce at 68 and then resistance at 72. And then we're going to pull down, and this is almost lining up perfectly. Our negative 236 extension here off of this first pull is going to be right here at 62.44.50, and then from our extension on our measurement of the A projected from the end of the B wave, the 1618 is also at 62.50. So we've got a lot of things that are pointing to 62.50. Is it going to go lower than that? I don't know. I don't know. I can't really tell, right? So when we go down into the C, what could change this? And let me just put this back here for a moment here. Let's just take a look at this. Is it possible we go lower? Well, it's possible we go to 5,400, but let me tell you how we can get down this far, okay? So it's important for you to realize how we can see an alternate count. Because if we don't do an A, B, C into the C, right? Because we said that this up here, this could potentially be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the A. So if we have a 5-wave structure down, and this would be measured like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's an alternate count. I'm going to just go ahead and color this one yellow because that's an alternate count. So if we're going to have a 5, 3, 5, then what we're going to eventually see here, probably we're going to see a 1, a 2, a 3, and then a 4, and then we're going to see a 5 wave. Okay, that's going to be the count where we could see an alternate to get lower prices. Right now I'm interested in anywhere between 6,000 and 6,500. That is where my level of interest is, excuse me. If we get down in those areas, I'm going to just be buying, right? I'm going to be buying down there. That's just my personal opinion. If we go down to 5,400, you know, I'll kind of have to reevaluate things. I think we're still bullish if we get down that low. because again, looking based off of this move down here, okay? And let me just clean this up now that we have some understanding of where these targets are coming from. Just clean that up. All right. I don't think we come down here. I don't think we come down here for the wave 2. I think that that is going to be a little too aggressive to the downside, even though it is very possible that that happens. I am going to be placing my bets here at 6,000 to 6,500. Okay, that's kind of where I'm going to be expecting. I expect the A, B, C rather than the alternate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go down to complete this C, only because of the fact that we have an expanded flat. This tends to be more bullish, so I don't expect it to draw down near as much. So nonetheless, this is what I'm looking at. And if this does happen, right, so we still would need to take our fib pull from the bottom to the top and see where we land. So if we go up here to that 7,900 level, the 50 is going to be down here, 5,400. The 382 is at 5,900. So very possible that works itself out. If we just measure the length of the one, taking the expansion not into account, 56. So, I could be proven wrong here. I could be proven wrong that we do go lower than this, but this is a good place for me to be placing some bets. Now, I'm short. I'm head short up here. I'm out of a lot of alts, so I'm sitting on a lot of cash. I'm just waiting for us to pull down to get into more long-term positions on alts, especially. So I'm just being very careful, be very diligent with this. This is, again, two different counts. One goes down a lot further. One stops here at about 6,000, right? So we'll just say 6,000 is going to be a good level. We've got a lot of support and resistance all the way from back here that we do have to pay attention to. So all the way back here, we've got a lot. And that's at about 58.50. Okay, so we've got support here, resistance here, support here, support here. So this could very well draw down a little bit more, coming down to a 58.50, and that would be okay. I don't want to see it come all the way down to 5,400. I suppose if it does, I might buy a little more with some, just some fun money that I have just kind of sitting aside. But this is kind of what I'm looking at. Again, this is just my opinion. Do your own research. I'm just a guy who giving my opinion on the market here. Okay, so just take that with a grain of salt. I do think that we're getting close to falling. I think that the 12-hour is going to be, primed for a move to the downside. Taking a look at the geometry, I think it is very possible that we do see this move down. I think the probability is that we stop at 6,000. I think that there is a lower percentage probability that we go lower than 6,000 just because of how strong that has been in the past. 6,000 has been the support throughout most of 2018, and I would fully expect it to be support here as well. So that's my opinion. So if you've got any questions or comments or concerns or anything, feel free to pop in the Discord. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have there. Like, subscribe, share. If you want in the Discord, just throw in a comment here in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. And we're still, for about the next 3 weeks, offering to charity all of the insured payments that we have for our membership on the Discord. So if you want to be part of our insured membership on the Discord, it's not something that we push on anybody, of course, but I'll take this moment just to kind of plug that. But we are donating all of that to charity because of the COVID-19 quarantines and all of that. So you can feel good that the money is going to be going to good use. But again, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, good evening. Stay happy, stay healthy, and take care, everyone.